Hello everyone, it's your favourite noise producer UK Noisewall here, and we are back with another brand new video. It's been a while since I've done one of these. There's a reason for that, a few reasons. The main one is that when I used to do these videos, these unscripted rambles where I share my screen and talk into a microphone for an hour and a bit, I used to do it on a machine, a MacBook that my work gave me, my job gave me. And this MacBook was amazing because I know you're going to be like, oh, it's a MacBook, but you know, it had a built-in microphone, which was like the equivalent of a studio microphone for some reason, and it came preloaded with screen recording software, which made it really easy to record the screen and share shit. But I got made redundant from that job, and I had to give back all my work equipment, including the MacBook. So I lost my thing to make videos with. And I do have my own laptop. I mean, that's what I'm recording this video on now, but and that laptop's great. It's a great laptop. It's a $3,500 machine. It's like a gaming laptop. It has all the latest fucking tech in it. But the one piece of tech it doesn't have in it is a good microphone and a good screen recorder. You know, I have to use like Xbox Game Bar to record shit, and I'm not doing that. So I had to download OBS, and then I had to dig out a studio mic that I have had for like 4 years that I used to use in like really high effort like commentary, like anime reviews and shit. You know, these were reviews that were like 2 hours long. They had like high level editing and stuff. It was like a fucking documentary mic, you know what I mean? And now I'm using it for shitty podcast ramble videos on UK Noisewall's channel. Yay. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, so I had to dig that out as well because I moved house a year ago. The microphone's been in a box gathering dust. I'm surprised it still fucking works, to be honest, but here we are. So if my voice sounds more crystal clear than usual, it's because I'm using a studio microphone that costs like £100 fucking. Yay. And if it doesn't sound good, then I've just wasted my money and I fooled all of you. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, we're back. And life in general has just been really busy. You know, like I said, I got made redundant from my job. This has been my job for like 4 years. I really got used to being there, and it kind of came out of the blue. So I was unemployed for a month. Had to get a new job. Had to settle in that job, and the new job is really busy. My life in general is really busy. It's going to get even busier. So that's why all the monthly like underground spotlight videos kind of fell to the wayside and stuff. I know a lot of people enjoyed that series, even though it only got like 100 views. I've got a lot of people messaging me on Twitter asking me, you know, oh, where's the underground spotlight this month? You know, did you just give up? No, I would have still be doing it if none of this shit happened, but it happened. So yeah, and then once I missed a few months, I just went, I can't be arsed. So I might pick it up, like the start of January next year or something. Oh, and I'm probably gonna do like an end of 2023 albums review thing where I just talk about all my favorite stuff that came out in 2023. I'll probably talk about not just underground stuff, like mainstream stuff and more popular stuff as well, you know. But you know, maybe do like a top, like bottom 20 albums or something, like shit that I hated and stuff as well. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. But yeah, so things have been fucking mental, basically. But I'm back, and to bring things back, we have a very familiar tier list today. This is the original Underground Music Labels tier list that I did, my very first UK Noisewall channel video. And yeah, that original video really got people talking. I didn't expect anyone would even see it. I just made it as a joke. I was just gonna, you know, I would hope some friends would maybe see it. I was just kind of talking, sharing my opinions, and apparently this got the whole community talking for like a week, because I remember it was on a few podcasts, people were talking about it, and I know a lot of the labels I talked about were responding to it as well. Some of them were very happy with what I said. Some of them were like, this is actually some really good criticism, I'll take that on board, thanks. And other people got really, really angry at me and called me a loser and called me all these really horrible names and said really horrible things about me. and were mad that I did not think their label was S tier, which was really funny. There was a few people who were like, and they never talked about tier lists ever again. And I'm like, well, if you don't like it, don't fucking watch it. It's just my opinion, you know what I mean? But people were really salty that this one guy who they don't even follow on social media, or who they don't even engage with any of his art or whatever, they're mad that this one guy didn't like everything they do. So, yeah, I'm about to piss everyone off again by doing it again this year. A year later, we're doing it again. No, but yeah, and I found it really funny as well, because a lot of the people who didn't like the video, they took the tier list and made their own, and then like they didn't know half the labels on the tier list. Like they just had a category for I have never heard of these labels, and I'm like, are you in this scene? Like really? Like how the fuck are you like into like underground electronic music and you don't know who Dimcore Records is? You don't know who fucking Low Entropy is. How's that possible? You know what I mean? I just find that really funny, to be honest. But, it is what it is, whatever. It's mostly the Vaporwave people that get mad at me, I guess, which, that's just kind of their thing, I guess. They just get mad at everything, but, yeah, whatever. So yeah, anyway, I'm ranting, sorry. So yeah, I thought it's been a year. Japanese Twitter found this video. They were very happy with it because I like all the Japanese labels, and they were like, "Holy shit, we're like S tier, A tier, great! Thank you so much, Yuki. You're cool." I got a bunch of Japanese followers now. I've kind of worked my way into the Japanese scene. I'm on like Suicide Records now and stuff. That's really funny. I didn't think that would ever happen, but Shincode really likes me, and he's like, "Oh, bro, like, hi. I like your noise, Yuki. It's cool, Yuki-chan." I'm like, I'm a guy, but thanks, mate. But yeah, whatever. So that was nice, So I figured, with the video getting more traffic again and stuff, and it's been like a year, and some people said that I missed out a few labels. My opinions have also changed. Some of these labels' statuses have changed, which we'll get to. So yeah, I thought, it's been a year, why not make this a yearly thing? So I've gonna update the tier list, guys. I'm gonna piss everyone off again. Yay! So yeah, a few changes here. We've got our usual S to F tier, which is fine, but now we also have hiatus, which is for labels that have gone on a break or whatever, but will be back probably. And then we've got dead, which is for labels that are gone. They have ceased operations, they have closed down, they have deleted their catalogue, they are dead. They are gone forever. They're not coming back. And you'll be surprised how many labels have fallen in here. Or maybe not. Who knows? I've also updated the logos for some of the labels as well, because a lot of labels go through rebranding and stuff, so my label here's got our new label, for example. And it's in the same order as the original list, but now at the end we have new labels that I never talked about before. So yeah, we have lots to talk about. Let's just get into it and shit, So first of all, we have Endogenic Noise Records, which is my label. We've got our new logo here with our little mascot, Endogenic-chan. So we were originally a B tier in the original video, and I'm going to put us in A tier now. I am more than confident putting us in A tier, and I have a few reasons for that. First of all, I think our biggest weakness back when I made this original video was that our branding was pretty weak, and a lot of people who commented on the tier list made that comment. They said, when they were talking about Endogenic, they're like, yeah, the branding's not very good. They said some other things as well, but yeah, for the most part, people didn't like the branding, and I can understand that. Our branding wasn't very good. We used the logo that was made by a friend of mine. A friend of mine who I haven't spoke to in a while, actually. I hope they're doing alright. But yeah, they made it because I didn't have an artist. I didn't know anybody back then. I literally had like 10 followers. I didn't really talk to anybody in the scene yet. So my friend was like, "Hey, I'll make a logo for you." They made it in fucking Photoshop or Paint or something, and it was fine. It did the job, But in hindsight, yeah, it wasn't very good. But, we were just starting out, and it did its purpose. It fulfilled its purpose. I just wish that websites like Rhyme would update it, because it's annoying. that it's still kind of there on all these kind of music archive websites and stuff. But whatever, it's fine. I don't really care. And then we got a new logo earlier. I think it was earlier this year. From Wavy Panda. They made a logo that was cool, and that had been our logo for a very long time. But now we have this little chick here, Endogenic Chan. She is our mascot. She's cute. She's a white-haired anime girl. She's always got a set of headphones on. She's always got blood in her face. She's always got oversized white t-shirt, messy hair. She's cute. She is created through the power of AI art. I know a lot of people will be really upset about that, but I don't give a fuck. I don't have money to pay artists to draw things, and I can't draw myself because I'm a talentless hack, so it is what it is. So yeah, that's cool. So yeah, our branding's definitely improved. Endogenic Chan posts on our social media as well, which is cool. And in general, I feel like one thing we get right that a lot of labels don't is social media use. We actually use our social media to hype up releases and share releases and just interact with our audience. A lot of labels, for some reason, are really scared of Twitter. Probably because it's a toxic cesspit, but you need to market your shit to people. And I feel like another thing we do is when we release music, we actually talk about what the music is. Every release we do, whether it's a single, an EP, an album, a compilation, whatever, we have a really, really long description explaining what the album is, who it's by, why you should listen to it, what the purpose of it is. A lot of labels have this problem where they release a new thing and they just drop it on the label and they just have a bunch of genre tags and they have like a catalogue number and that's it. And it's like, why aren't you marketing this to people? You should be selling this to people. Like really, you should be. You should be selling it to people. If you're releasing music on a label, you should be explaining to people why it's worth their time, why they should engage with it, why they should bother. If I go on a page and I just see an empty page with a release on it, I'm not gonna check that out. I don't have time. I don't have time to do that. Why are you worth my time over the other 20 fucking labels that released music today? Tell me why. So we do that. We give basically a mini review explaining what this release is and why it's cool and why you should check it out. And yeah, I feel like we do that a lot better than most labels do, to be perfectly honest. So yeah, and also just our catalogue in general is really varied. A lot of people look at our catalogue and they go, "Oh, I don't like noise music." We're not a noise label. We're called Endogenic Noise, but we're called that because I'm a noise artist. Music is a form of noise. It's very loud and abrasive. A lot of the music we put out is. And, it's just a name. Like, we take anything. We literally take any genre. And we're not one of these labels that goes, "Oh, we take any genre," and then we don't accept, like, half the genres that people submit. We accept anything that's good. And I feel like we are generally putting out a lot of stuff that most labels are either like not going to put out or are too scared to put out. Like there's some stuff we have put out and I can't see any other label having the balls to put that stuff out, whether it's because it's too edgy or because it's not marketable or because it's just so fucking weird. Like we're putting out crunkcore music in 2023. No other label in the scene's doing that. We're literally putting out Kuma AKA's EP like later this month. You know what I mean? No one's doing that. No one's putting that out. No one has the balls to put out crunkcore because most people don't even know what crunkcore was. Crunkcore's a dead genre, but we're still releasing it. We put out noise, obviously. We put out low bit. We put out field recordings. We put out everything: pop, rock. We have breakcore, drum and bass, vaporwave. We have everything. We have just about a piece of everything. The only thing we don't have yet is country, and I'm looking for a country artist. I want to release a country album so I can just say that we've done it. Cause, yeah. So if you're into country music or you're an underground country artist, please send us your demo and we will release it. I promise. If it's good, we will put it out. But yeah. The only reason we're not an S tier is because There's a couple of reasons. The main one is we haven't done physical CDs or tapes or vinyls yet, or any merch. We want to do that. It's in the pipeline. We just literally need to find someone who wants to do it. And then once we have that, we will do it. We're actually in the process of making our first physical just now. But we just need the artwork. Once we've got the artwork, it's coming out. You can buy CDs from Indigenic Noise. And once we do that, we're taking over the fucking world. Because we're going to be awesome. So yeah, and the other reason is I feel like a lot of our art is like really abrasive and like purposefully abrasive. We're not for everybody, which is fine. I can understand why a lot of people don't fuck with us. We are very like, we don't care about professionalism. We don't care about being corporate, and a lot of people don't like that and get scared of that. You know what I mean? Like I literally like tweet like memes and shit on the account and stuff, but not to the point where it's annoying or damages our brand. It's very on brand for us. And there's another label in this list that we'll get to that does that, and they have ruined their entire fucking credibility as a label because of the way they act on social media. But you know, yeah, you know, I mean, look at our mascot. She's got blood in her face. You know what I mean? That's not for everybody. So that's the other reason. But I personally think it's part of our identity and it makes us who we are. So, but yeah, so we're 8 here now. I think we're doing really, really good, and I think that next year is going to be an even more exciting year for us. So keep an eye out for those CDs and shit. Okay, that was long. Next we have No Sleep for Bedtime. They're still an A tier. They've been a bit of a quieter year for them. They've not had as much stuff coming out this year, but they're still doing their thing. They're still doing their dark hardcore. They're still doing their shrans. They're still doing all that good stuff. And what they have put out this year has been excellent. It's remained as top quality. It's remained good. Yeah, they're just doing their thing. They're just plodding along and they're doing really well. So yeah, keep it up. You're doing great, guys. Next we have, oh boy, Delta Vega Records. So they were originally in D tier. Would you all like to hazard a guess where they are now? Yeah, they're right at the top. Nah, I'm only joking. They're dead. They're gone. Their Bandcamp's gone. Social media is more or less gone. They're dead. Shut down. All their catalogue's gone. I love being right. You know, I said a year ago, both on social media and in private, that Delta Vega would not last to the end of 2023. Everyone called me an idiot. Everyone called me an asshole. I was right. I was right. And I know it sounds like I'm gloating. And I know you might think I'm an asshole for doing that. But they fucking deserve it. They deserve it. This was a downfall that was well deserved, in my opinion. Because I guess we'll just get into it, right? People are going to be like, oh, he's no. There's a... Jesus Christ. I'll keep it short. So, all my issues with the label aside, right? Putting aside all my personal grievances and whatnot, I don't think the label's catalogue was very good to begin with anyway. They put out Breakcore, they put out Vaporwave, and that was really it. They maybe put out a wee bit of noise, but the noise they put out was shit. And they put out dark ambient stuff, but it was basically just vaporwave that sounded a wee bit more dark than usual vaporwave. That was it. They called themselves Genre Chaotic, but they only put out like 3 fucking genres. They were not Genre Chaotic, and I really take issue with this shit because I'm tired of these fucking labels that claim we accept all genres and then they don't accept all genres and they go, oh, well, it's whatever I want it to mean. No, all genres either means all genres or it doesn't. You know? Someone wanted to submit a Lollycore album and they weren't even like a Lollicon or anything, they were just like a fucking... It was fucking Tfue. It was like, oh, what about Lollycore? And they're like, nope, not that one. And it's like, right, so you're not all genres then. You know what I mean? But, you know, the catalogue wasn't very good in my opinion. No offence to the artists who worked with them. Like, great, do your thing. It just wasn't my thing, you know? But I had personal issues with this fucking label and the owner. And I'm just gonna get into it, because fuck it, they're not here anymore, I don't give a shit. So, the owner of this label was incredibly toxic to me, regularly harassed me behind the scenes, not publicly. They would never do it publicly because they're a fucking coward. They would go into Discord servers and they would privately message people who interacted with me, and they would spread lies about me. They would say all these horrible things about me, saying that I'm toxic, that I'm a harasser, that I, because I like edgy art and because I like fucking anime porn, apparently that means I'm a fucking creep. I'm a weirdo. I'm not to be associated with. I don't belong in this scene. This person who has spoken to me like once, by the way, maybe twice, never ever really had a conversation with me, to be perfectly fucking honest. And they were going around spreading all this shit about me, saying horrible things about me and my friends and my label, constantly going on about how professional they were and how me and people like me and my friends and my label were unprofessional, you know, talking shit basically. And the thing is that there's people I have beef with, and I understand why they have beef with me, because I say things sometimes that upset people, I argue with people sometimes, and if you dislike me because of an argument we've had, that's valid, you know, that's fine. This person I have never done anything to. I've never said anything negative about them that would be considered offensive. I said that Delta Vega wasn't a very good label. That's my opinion. I'm not doing it to be an asshole, you know? I never said anything negative about them. It was nothing but a love from me. Or at least goodwill, you know? So I take great issue with that. But the thing I take even more issue with is the reason why they shut down. They shut down because she's a fucking scammer, and the label was a scam. They released physical merchandise and sold it, and this merchandise was never made. Not a single customer received their tapes. Not a single artist was paid what they were owed for their tapes, and the label pocketed all the money and just never commented on where the tape's at. May from Wet Cat Smell, who I'm actually on good terms with now, thank God, because she's actually really nice and really cool, she noticed this and she made a statement about it. She was like, I've noticed that I was never paid for my tapes and there's sales on it. And then she realised she's never seen anyone talk about the tapes on social media, so she's like thinking, where are they? Did the customers actually get them? So she reached out to all the people who bought the tapes, and not a single person had ever received those tapes. They were never made. May thought maybe they're in a box somewhere. No, they were never made. And you know, so May messaged the label. She asked about it. She's like, "Hey, where's my money and what's happening with the tapes?" She didn't get a response. She messaged the label owner directly. She was ignored. So she took to social media to bitch about it, because obviously if you message the people who are fucking you over and they don't reply, what do? You make a statement about it. because you're not replying, what you're supposed to do is sit there. No, bullshit. So she did that, and yeah, then Haldane immediately got on fucking social media and started complaining and saying that May was being horrible and toxic and talking shit about the label. And it's like, she blamed her life. She's like, oh, my life's really busy right now. I have a lot going on, I have this job and blah, blah, blah. I moved house, blah, blah, whatever the excuse was. And I'm like sitting here like, do you know how easy it is to send money to someone on PayPal? You just log into PayPal, you type in their name, and you click how much money you want to give them, and you click the send button. It takes about 3 minutes, maybe 5 minutes if you're doing it on a mobile device outside and you have two-factor authentication on. It's like a 5-minute job at max. It's not hard. It's really not hard. My label pays everybody. As soon as our release makes money and it comes into my PayPal account, I do the maths, I see how much I owe each person, then I send them the money. It's very fucking easy to do. It's not a difficult thing to do at all. And if you say it is, you're just lying. You're just lying. And then the physical merch, it's like, I'm sorry, but if you're making physical merch, you should probably, fulfill your obligation as a business to send people who pay for it the merch. It's not a hard thing to do. It's really not hard to do. And I don't care. Being busy is not an excuse. I'm fucking busy. You think you're busy? I'm busy. I work over 40 hours a week at a high level position within the company I work for. I'm a senior position. I have a lot of responsibilities. That's kind of crazy. I have a 2-year-old kid. Like, do you have kids? No, you don't. I have a 2-year-old kid. I have to spend most of my free time looking after her, seeing her needs, spending time with her. I'm also married, so I have to spend time with my wife as well, which I love doing. But, a lot of my free time is dedicated to that. On weekends, which is my days off work, I'm never in the house. I'm out the house. Always out the house the whole weekend, doing stuff with my family, doing things. I am running errands all the time. I'm still running my label. I'm still paying people. I'm still releasing things regularly on the label. I'm still fulfilling all my obligations as a label owner. If I can do all that while doing the label, you can do the same. I'm sorry. There's no excuse. And I know mental health is a thing we all have, and that's fine. Be transparent about it. If you're fucking up, if you're gonna fuck up, if you have fucked up, just say, I'm not in a good headspace, I fucked up, I'm really sorry. Apologise. You didn't do that. Instead you took the money and you fucking ran and you deleted all your shit. Apparently if you go to their Bandcamp, it says, planning the epic comeback. My advice to you is don't come back. Please don't. We don't need scammers like you. We don't need toxic people like you in the community. Get out. Don't come back. Ever. So yeah, I was right, and I love being right. It's great to be right. Anyway, let's talk about an actually good label now. So we've got Yuri Society. They're going in S tier. They're originally in A tier, but now they're in S tier. So yeah, Yuri Society is Lord Cernunnos' label, my buddy's label. Been a great year for Yuri Society. A lot of it has been his own stuff, as always, but there's been a bit more variety this year. I've been on the label a few times. Stranded's been on the label. Himiko Katagiri's side projects have been on the label. It's a really, really varied label, and what I like most about it is a lot of the releases are really pushing the boundary for what music is and can be, Like, there's literally, like, releases on here that's just, like, recordings of Lord Cernunnos playing, like, Doom and shit, There's a lot of low-bit stuff on here. There's a lot of stuff that is, like, purposefully really long. There's stuff here that's, like, really short. There's been stuff he's released on here that's, like, 0 seconds long, and I find that really funny and cool, There's just a lot of stuff on here that is, like, really pushing the boundaries for what music can be, and I find that really interesting. Like, as a piece of music, a lot of people, including myself, would be like, "Oh, that's not very like musical or whatever," and it's not. But in terms of like actual ideas and things like that, with the actual idea behind it and like what it's trying to represent and be, I feel like a lot of the stuff on Euro Society is really cool, and for that reason, they're an S tier. They're a great label. No label's doing what they're doing, and they're also really easy to work with. I've released a few EPs and albums with them, and it's never been a problem. It's always been really easy, really straightforward. Yeah, keep it up, man. You're doing great, and I need to shoot you guys an EP or something at some point. Yeah, check them out on Archive. They're great. They don't have a Bandcamp page, but they're on Archive and they're solid. There's great stuff on there. If you're into noise, a low bit, dungeon synth type stuff, give it a look. There's a lot of awesome stuff on there. Next we have Sua Digital Records. They're going in A tier again. There was a bit of a weird hiccup this year where they just kind of their Bandcamp just went away and all their shit was gone. Don't know what happened there. But they're back. I'm assuming they were just doing some kind of spring cleaning or something, maybe getting rid of some old releases or something. But they're back. Still doing their thing, still doing hardcore, speedcore, dark industrial, all that kind of stuff. It's not been as busy this year as it has been, but they're still fucking carrying on, doing their shit, and it's really good. If you're really into like underground, like proper like hardcore techno stuff, yeah, give them a look. They've got all kind of styles of that music, and they're like masters of it. They're always putting out good stuff. Yeah, check them out. They're great. They're still going on strong, and I'm really happy about that. Next we have Omoid Label. They'll be happy to see that they're still in S tier. They are like one of the biggest and most varied and most interesting labels in the Japanese scene specifically, but they have everything. They have like breakcore, drum and bass, pop, mashcore, fucking like rock. They have everything. They cover like every genre. They're great. It's kind of what I want to do with Endogenic. They're constantly releasing stuff. It's a variety of stuff. It's not just, they don't pigeonhole themselves into one genre. They just put out whatever they think is interesting. And there's a lot of stuff on here that really doesn't sound like anything else. Prayer for the Lotuses, stuff that was released this year is an absolute highlight for me. Really check out Prayer for the Lotus. That stuff is awesome. But yeah, this has been another fucking strong year for Omoid Label. They are killing it. They're doing absolutely amazing. I'm so happy that they're continuing to put stuff out. And they've got hundreds of releases. Like, they've been going on since like 2011, and they're still putting stuff out regularly. Like, at least 3 or 4 releases every month. So yeah, check it out. Omoid Label, one of the best labels ever. Fucking phenomenal. Check it out. Next we have Doom Catalog. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. They're still in D tier. That's like my personal opinion, mostly on the music though. A lot of people really like Doom Catalog, and that's cool. I've got a few things to say about it. So I said this last year, but I really do respect Lucid and everything that he does. We butt heads sometimes on Twitter. But I feel like me and Lucid actually are of a very similar mindset when it comes to what underground music is and where it's going. I feel like we actually have very, very similar philosophies when it comes to the underground. And that's happened today. We were talking about labels today, and it was interesting. We agreed on, like, that a lot of labels are just talking shite, you know what I mean, when they say that they take all genres and stuff. And I have a lot of respect for him. I'm not a big fan of his music personally, especially all the Flap stuff. Like, I just don't really like Flap. I'm sorry, but I appreciate what it is and what it's trying to do. And Dream Catalog was doing CDs, tapes, and vinyls before pretty much anyone else here. And they have very good quality stuff. There's a few people that have complained about not getting their orders, but as far as I'm aware, that's a carrier problem. It's not Dream Catalog's fault. They do answer emails, and they do, sort their support out and stuff, which is very rare of a label. I guess the best thing I can say about them is, as a business, They are probably the most professional one out there, even if they talk a lot of shit on Twitter. But it's part of the brand, you know. Lucid is very smart when it comes to his marketing. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to get attention on something. He knows the game very well, and I can respect that. The only reason they're not higher is I just don't really like a lot of the music they put out. I just don't find it interesting. I'm not big into Vaporwave and Dream Punk and stuff, and I mean, they put out Normie Filter at the start of the year, and that album's just not good, man. I'm sorry. No offense to May and Shima and all that. I just think the album's pish. It's just not good. I just don't like it. And that, even stuff like Your Music is Worthless and all that. I just don't like any of the stuff they've put out this year. That all being said, Lucid has said on social media that they're planning to open the door to more new and unique stuff outside of Dream Punk and Vaporwave. And that has me excited because Lucid does have a very good ear for good music. He likes classical music. We've talked about classical music a few times. Like I recommended the Deer Hunters modern classical album. Don't know if he checked it out or not, but he said he would. So he has a good ear for that stuff. He likes hip hop. And he doesn't just like mainstream shitey hip hop. He likes actually good hip hop. I really want to try and get him turned on to Juggalo stuff, but I don't think it's gonna happen. But whatever. He has a good ear for underground experimental music and what's cool and what's gonna do well, and he's very good at figuring out where the current projection of things are going, and I think all of that combined with this new approach that he wants to give the label, where they're accepting more stuff, could result in something very interesting. And if he delivers on that promise to deliver new exciting music that hasn't been done before, then Dream Catalogue could be an A tier next year, possibly higher. So I'm going to be keeping a very close eye on what they're doing, and maybe we can have another label dad who is doing what I'm doing. That'd be cool. So like I said, Dream Catalogue right now is not my thing. They could become my thing next year, maybe, if they deliver on those promises. And Lucid's a cool guy. A lot of people give him shit. I like him. I think he's cool. He's a bro. He's always been very very nice to me. Even if we disagree on something and he calls me a name or something, it's all in good fun. It's all just a laugh, you know what I mean? He's a dad. I'm a dad. We talk about our kids and shit sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, we shoot the shit. I wouldn't mind going out for a pint with the guy. If I ever find myself in London, I'm gonna fucking look for him and be like, here mate, let's go for a drink. Or 5, What is cool. I like him. So yeah, we'll see where we are next year, Lucid. Yeah. Maybe you'll get higher up if you meet my stupid fucking taste next year. But yeah, keep doing what you're doing. Whatever, it's whatever. It's not personal. It's just my taste is just shit, probably. Okay. Next we have Tsundere Violence, S tier. No surprise there. Been very quiet this year. Himiko's been on a bit of a hiatus because his mental health is tanked and all that shit. But they're not on hiatus because they put out the yearly compilation. It was a bit late, but they put it out. That was great, really cool. He put out his yearly waifu album as well. That was cool. So yeah, there we go. That's it. They're just doing their thing as usual. Oh, they put out a physical actually, their very first physical. So that was pretty awesome too. Limited pressings and stuff. I never got one, but yeah. Yeah, so they're just doing their usual thing, carrying on with breakcore and lollycore and speedcore and mashcore and all the cores. So yeah, keep it up, Tsundere Violence. You're doing cool. You're doing awesome. And I hope that 2023 is a more active year for them because I really respect them and they're a huge inspiration for what my label does. And Himiko saw this original tier list and was happy to be in S tier. So yeah, there you go, pal. You're in S tier again. Good job. Keep it up. Okay, so next we have Come Jar Records. So I find out who this was run by. It was run by one of Mithro's friends. They used to be in E tier because their output was shite, and yeah, can you guess where they are now? They're dead. Of course they're dead. They were never really a serious label to begin with. Their catalogue wasn't very good. And they were ran by an asshole. The guy who runs this label is a fucking prick. You know what I mean? Like, he's, again, just like Delta Vega. It seems like all the dead labels are run by cunts, by the way. This is going to be a fucking trend. But yeah. Again, said some shit about me on social media. Which is really, they got really mad, the lolly stuff. Which, I've said before, that's fine, if it's not your thing, whatever. Block me, block my friends, block my label, But, your label was named after the cum jar meme. You do know that's like a degenerate, like a lolicon meme, right? Like, that's like a thing that, like, do you not know the origin of that meme? Yeah? Bit weird. Really weird. Just almost feels like fucking projection, to be honest. And they're like, oh, you're a fucking degenerate weirdo, and it's like, your label's literally named after the cum jar meme, which is a very common meme where people put Nendoroids in the cum jar and shit, But, yeah. The only good release they ever had was my friend Stranded's release, and it's been taken off of their Bandcamp for some reason. I can assume this is for one of two reasons. Either Stranded asked them to take it down, or they found out who Stranded was and how he's even more of a fucking degenerate weirdo than I am. But yeah, they had a wee spat with me and a bunch of lollycore people on Twitter. Everyone made fun of them, and then they just stopped doing the label. So yeah, the label is fucking dead. Low battery, yay. So yeah, another label ran by an auntie that's dead. Surprise, surprise. Next, we have Mad Breaks. They're going in B tier this year. I just still like them. Still great. Great physicals. Music's fine. But that's the problem. The music's fine. The music this year has not been as great as it was last year. Which is fine. But I just feel like their output hasn't really been that interesting. So yeah, that's it. I don't really have much else to say, but it's mostly just been really standard kind of break music, which is fine, but I just feel like they've really taken a down step in quality. A step down in quality this year. Not as interesting as they used to be. But, they're still doing alright. Still better than a lot of these other fucking labels, that's for sure. So yeah, Mad Bricks carrying on doing their thing. But it's not really as much of my thing as it was last year. Next we have Liminal Records, and they were originally in C tier, I believe. This is a bit of a plot twist. So they're going in A tier now. They have really, really stepped up their game in the last year. Originally my biggest complaint about Liminal, for some reason back then I called them LMNL Records. I was a fucking dumbass. Don't know why I did that. Yeah, Liminal, my biggest criticism of Liminal was that their roster, they just really started and their roster was quite thin. But they've really, really beefed it up now. They've got a whole bunch of regular artists. They've signed a few people. I don't think it's like signed in the contractual traditional sense, but they've got people on board that are their regulars, so to speak. And a lot of the regulars are good. Beachgrave's on there. She's pretty cool. There's a bunch of other people on it too. What's his name? Like fucking Modal or something like that. I can't remember how to say his name. A lot of these artists have me blocked, which is fine. Of course they do. But Liminal themselves, well, they don't follow me back, have always been really, really courteous and really kind to me, despite my status as a creator. Um, they even they even put me on their compilation. I was really fucking surprised at that. I didn't expect that. I submitted to them as a joke, thinking, "No, this is gonna get me blocked. I'm gonna get rejected, and it's gonna be a funny." And they liked the track, and they put it on their fucking compilation. I was like, "Holy shit! I'm actually on their compilation. That was really cool." So yeah, I was on a compilation on Liminal that a bunch of people who hate me were also on. So that was quite funny and cool. And I really appreciate though that Liminal was willing to put aside all personal grievances to just put out good music. And that's one thing they do really well. They don't care about drama, they don't care about beefs, they don't care about dumb internet fistfights. They just put out music that they think is good, and they do it really professionally. They haven't done really any, not really done any physicals yet. They're putting out a tape soon of a release, and they're letting fans vote for it, which one it will be, which I think is cool. Hopefully Temmie's album gets it, or the compilation, because I'm on it. But yeah, but you know, whatever. So that's cool. They're doing physicals soon, and yeah, they've just been really cool. They've put out good music. The music they've put out has been very good, and yeah, I don't really have any. The only kind of major, not complaint. I think criticism is the best way to put it. As I feel like they could do a bit better at explaining the releases on the release page, because they are one of those labels, unfortunately, that's quite guilty of, they just put something out and they just put a catalogue number and a bunch of social media links, and they don't really hype up the release on the page. They just go, new Beachgrave album, and that's it, you know. Like I feel like they could really benefit from like giving a kind of, like we do, giving like a mini review of the album and explaining why it's cool and what you should do it, why you should spend your time with it. And you know, they do it on social media, so I don't see why they don't do it on the page itself. But you know, whatever. But you know, outside of that, they're solid. They are, in terms of Western labels, they are the gold standard for what a label should be doing right now, and they're doing it really well. And I'm very, very excited to see what comes from them next year. And if they do another compilation, yeah, fuck it, I'll submit something to them again. Very professional in all their emails with me. Very kind, very nice. They even offered to master my track for me, so because the volume was a bit loud compared to everyone else's, because I don't really master my stuff. So they mastered my track, and that was really nice of them to do that. So yeah, absolutely no issues with Liminal. They are one of my favourite labels right now. I really like them. They're cool. If you haven't given them a follow yet, please do so. They're very good. I just wish you guys would unblock the Endogenic Noise Records Twitter account, because I want to retweet your stuff on Endogenic Noise as well to our audience. I feel like our audiences overlap a lot, so that would be, you know, if you're watching this video, Liminal Records owner person, please do that. I put you in the A tier, you owe me. No, really though. Great label, check them out. One of the best, for sure. Can't fault them. But then we have the other end of the spectrum. This is U26E7. They were in F tier. They were like the worst label in the video. Yeah. They're dead. Bye. Apparently they might be coming back under new management. Apparently God's Drunkest Driver, who she was an artist on the label, she's gonna bring it back apparently. But I two things about that. One, God's Drunkest Driver's music isn't very good, and two, no offense, you know, it's just not my thing, but I don't really like it. And two, of all the labels to bring back, why the fuck would you bring back this one? No one liked this label. Even the artists who worked with them didn't like them. You know? Like the other day I saw Gut Spiller, whatever fuck her name is now. She used to go by TRS. She was giving away, selling a bunch of fucking tapes. And she had the compilation tape the tape of the compilation album that they did, and she was like, "I'm not even gonna sell this. I'm just gonna give this away for free, because it's that shit. The quality is that bad, you know." And that was the issue. The quality of the physicals was terrible. Like, it was homemade, which is cool, but it was shite. It was so bad, man. Like, I didn't hear a single person comment on the good quality, comment that the quality of the tapes that they did were good. Because it was done by a fucking schizophrenic psychopath who didn't know how to fucking do anything. And again, this is another person who was a really terrible person to me. I was friends with Moe Dict. I genuinely really liked her music. I thought she was a really cool person. And then she just like had a schizophrenic breakdown and just became a psycho. And she turned a bunch of my friends against me. And just like, she was just a crazy person. She's not right in the head, man. Don't know what she's doing now. Her social media is gone. She's changed her alias about 5 fucking times. The label's gone. Apparently she's on TikTok or something. But yeah, that's another person who is like, "You're a creep for being into like this kind of degenerate hentai." And then she would make a song called Kanata Gets Acid Skull Fucked, you know, and Kanata's a lolly. You know, I have a feeling you're just like me and you're terrified to fucking let people know about it. It's all projection, you know? Really fucking degenerate person, and not in a good way, not in a funny way like me. Like, this person was really fucking mad. You know, the kind of person is like, "Oh, this fucking, you like this? Oh, that's bad." And then it's like they're retweeting gore porn. You know what I mean? All right. So yeah, this label and the person who ran it were both fucking terrible, and they're both gone. You know, and they actually commented on the first tier list, and they were like, "Well, at least I don't allow racists at my label." And I'm like, "Neither do we." What are you talking about? What, because someone made a Hitler joke once that makes them a racist? Okay. And they were like, "I'm trying to improve the quality of my physicals." Well, you didn't do a very fucking good job of it, because people were still complaining. So yeah, this label's dead. I hope it doesn't come back. If it does come back, I hope it does better. But everything about this label sucked. So yeah. Next we have, fuck, I can't even remember what one that was. That's Gold Noise's label. The fuck was that called again? I don't remember the name of the label. It's Abstract Trauma Recordings. This is Gold Noise's old label, Carry On's label. They're dead, sadly. But he does have a new label, Triumph of Kings, which I apparently forgot to include on this list. Sorry. I'm sorry, Gold. Yeah. You know, me and Carry On, Gold, whatever you want to call him, we've been working together recently. We're on pretty good terms now, which is cool. Dude's really good. What he does, his noise is cool. He's got a good eye for noise. Good ear for noise. Triumph of Kings is a good label. Check them out. I'm so sorry I didn't include them on the list. I don't know how I forgot, but yeah, if Triumph of Kings was on the list, it would probably be about B tier, because they're still pretty new, but they're good. Yeah, check them out. Yeah, I saw it, basically this label's just Abstract Trauma's just shut down and Triumph of Kings has replaced it basically. So yeah, he went for a bit of a weird spell where he was going to call it War on Woke, and that was a terrible idea. So I'm glad he went with Triumph of Kings instead. For sure. So yeah, check out Triumph of Kings. I'll link them in the description, even though I didn't include them here. Vaporscape Records, they're in A tier this year. Not been as good a year for them as the last year, but they're still pretty great. You know, they're still doing their thing. Breakcore, drum and bass, vaporwave, kind of mix of all that sort of stuff. They're doing good. I haven't been as invested in them this year as I was last year, but they're still doing a good job. And they're still professional, varied. Sad Unicorn's a good person, good dude. Yeah, check them out. They're great. Fujimi Industry Records, they're going up to S tier. I'm sure Koakira will be very happy with that result. Yeah, they're a great label. Their catalogue has been the usual kind of speedcore, extra tone, industrial, hardcore, all those kind of things. But they do it on a whole other level that's just amazing. It's just the best, you know what I mean? They're really, really great at it. They're a fantastic label. Check them out. They're really, really good. Solid release catalogue. One of the best years they've had, actually. Next we have Caliber Plus. They're going in C tier. Very quiet year for them. They haven't really done an awful lot. Their stuff's very hit or miss for me. Sometimes it's awesome, sometimes it's alright. This year was just alright. They've not been doing super great, in my opinion. They're still good, just nothing amazing or outstanding. But they're still doing their thing. Still been very quiet though, for some reason. But yeah, they're a thing. Next we have Doomcore Records. They're going in S tier. Another solid fucking year for Doomcore Records. The best Doomcore label ever. They're great. Just constantly pumping out releases, and all of them are great. You know, I love Doomcore. Really into Doomcore, especially this year. Very slow, cavernous, sludgy, pounding, dark, evil shit, and they're doing a fantastic job with it. Low Entropy just really, really knows what he's doing here. He's got a great ear for that kind of stuff, and he's just putting out hundreds of it. It's another great year for Doomcore Records. Probably one of their best years yet, and the fact they now have 2 sub-labels is even better. So yeah, check out Doomcore Records if you want to get into Doomcore as a genre. Highly recommend just getting through their catalogue from the beginning and just working your way through it. It's really, really great. It's a very niche and underappreciated genre in the underground that not enough people talk about. So yeah, check them out. Really, really good label. Next we have Dark Impact Records. They're going in B tier. Quieter year for them, kinda. I mean, they still do their monthly release, but I feel like I've not seen as much of it recently for some reason. Hard Impact Records, which is the main label, kind of went quiet, but Dark Impact Records is carrying on with their usual thing. Just more dark hardcore stuff. Very, very glitchy, broken, evil sounding music. They're still doing their thing. They're doing it really well. I just wish there was a bit more of it, but they're still doing good. That's cool. Awesome. Check them out. Next we have Liquid Magic Records, my friend Temmie's label, and unfortunately they are dead. And it sucks, because the reason they died was dumb. So Temmie was running her thing, she was doing really well with it, you know, had a really varied catalogue. Lots of very, very well curated catalogue, you know. Temmie has a very good ear for what she considers good. She really, really prides herself in her taste in music. And unlike a lot of people in this scene, Temmie actually understands, like, music as an art form. Like, she listens to albums that are, like, historically important and appreciates them for what they are. And, you know, a lot of people in this scene, they'll write off, like, the Beatles and shit, like, very influential artists who paved the way for modern music, and go, they were just a bunch of fucking boffins who didn't make anything interesting. And it's like, I don't even like the Beatles, but I'm not going to turn around and say the Beatles sucked. You know what I mean? That's fucking stupid, you know? And Temmie's one of these people who, she actually has an appreciation for, like, the classic artists who actually helped define what music is today. And she appreciates them she appreciates music on a deeper level than most people. You know, and she does write her own music and stuff. Like, she doesn't really sample anything in her music. It's all, you know, she writes it all herself. So she has a very, very good ear for music and a very deep appreciation for it. So Liquid Magic's catalogue was very unique and interesting and curated in a way that a lot of labels in our Western scene don't really do. But Temi was also friends with Mithril, who runs Third Eye Records, and the plan was to merge Third Eye and Liquid Magic. So, Liquid Magic and Third Eye would become one. The artists in Liquid Magic would go over to Third Eye, and it was a great, cool thing, because label mergers don't really happen with net labels. It doesn't really happen. But Temi thought it would be a great opportunity. Her and Mithril could be the co-owners of the new Third Eye with Liquid Magic integrated into it, and it was going to be a whole cool thing. And then Third Eye Mithril decided, I'm just going to fuck all that, and I'm going to delete the entire label and start again with a new label, a new catalogue. And we're just going to take all the old stuff and put it on an archive page. Which meant that all of Liquid Magic shit that went into Third Eye were just put on an archive page. And Temi was left out in the cold. And I really hate that. I really did not like that. I was really upset about that. It sucked. It sucked for Temi, it sucked for Liquid Magic, and it sucked for all the artists on Liquid Magic. And a lot of the artists were pissed, rightfully pissed, that their music they worked hard on was just put on an archive page. That's shit. So yeah, that's why Liquid Magic died. But fear not, for there's this little label here which wasn't there before and it's here now. This is Night Prowler Recordings, and this is Temi's new label. S tier. This label is the successor to Liquid Magic, Night Prowler Recordings. It's a very new label. It's still got only a handful of releases, but every single release is great. Their curation is fantastic. The roster is perfect. Every release is good. And I'm not just saying that because Temi's my friend. I have listened to every single thing this label has put out so far, and they're all great. They put out what is probably one of the best albums of the scene this year. Very recently. They even put it in. They're also doing physicals. They're doing physical CDs already. And they're very good quality. Temi is running the label phenomenally. It deserves more attention. The releases on there deserve more attention. They've got their own website as well as their Bandcamp, which is really cool. That's where they sell their CDs, I believe. So that's cool. They pay their artists. Temi doesn't make a cent from this label. She pays her artists everything. Yeah. They're doing amazing. They're fantastic. They're one of the best labels in the scene, and they've just started. So I'm really excited to see where 2024 goes for them. Yeah, I genuinely can't think of any issues I have with this label. Any issues I would have is because they're very new. But even if the catalogue is quite small at the moment, it's so good that I can't put it any lower than S tier. I would argue this has the potential to become the best label in the western side of the community. So yeah, Temi's doing an amazing job. Very, very proud of her. She's my friend as well, and that's really cool. And they also have a very cool slogan, which is "Artists always first" or something like that. Which is basically the artists come first, which is the way it should be, to be honest. A lot of labels sign people, put out music, and then profit off of the artist, and the artist gets dick. Here it's the opposite, and that's the way it should be. And it's a whole movement she's trying to promote, and I fully agree with it, and I'm on board with it. So yeah, check out Night Prowler Recordings. They're amazing. Follow them on social media, gas their shit. Check out all their music, Bandcamp website, check it all out. They're fucking great. One of my favourites. So yeah, give it a look. Next we have Mimi Records. They're in C tier. Very quiet year this year. Kind of fallen off a little bit. Still really interesting label, cool. They've got some good stuff, but they've just kind of fallen off sadly, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, that's what it is. But they're doing all right. Just there's not been an awful lot of activity, so that sucks. Um, Mobcore Chicago, putting them in D tier now. They've only had like 2 releases this year, and only one of them was good. They don't really seem to know what they're doing anymore. Like they had this whole breakcore D&B noise metal slant they were going for, and now it just seems like they're putting out anything that gets sent to them, and they're not getting sent much. I don't know. I feel like this label is really, really close to dying, which is unfortunate because I really like what they do, but I just feel like they've really lost interest and they're just kind of falling off now, which is a bit of a shame. But maybe they'll be back next year with more stuff. I just feel like the only good thing they put out this year was Rorschach's new thing. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Next we have Slowcore Records, A tier. They're the sister label, the sub label of Doomcore Records, focusing on even slower, darker, sludgier music. Yeah, Slowcore Records are fantastic. Great. Probably the least melodic, danceable music ever, but they're doing awesome stuff. I really, really like this stuff. Slowcore is a movement that really needs to catch on. A lot of people need to start appreciating it more. So yeah, check out Slowcore Records. They are very, very good. If you're into dark, underground, industrial type techno music, please check them out. Slowcore is like nothing you've ever heard before. It's like the slowest. Like there's songs that go like 1 beat per minute. You know, it's fucking mad. They're great. So yeah, check it out. Very solid year for them. Next we have Vomit Gore Records. I'm a bit torn where to put this. I think they're on hiatus. Not quite gonna say they're dead yet because their Bandcamp's still up, but they haven't released anything since like March of this year, and what they did release was shit. I've already spoke at length about my issues with them. They treated me really poorly. They deleted my stuff without warning. Kitty Gore themselves isn't really doing anything interesting. They're just like a singles artist now. They're fucking huge on social media for some reason. I don't know why, because they don't fucking make anything interesting and they're really boring. But yeah. Yeah, this label's fucking garbage, and they haven't done anything since March. So if it gets to March, 2024, I'm gonna assume they're dead. But for now, they're on hiatus, I guess. So yeah. Next we have Noise J. They're in A tier. Very good, very varied label of dark kind of industrial noise, although kind of dark electronic music. Another solid year for them. One of the few labels that puts out Skullstep as well. So yeah, that's really fucking cool. It's just been another year for them, business as usual, really. They're still very, very good. And if you like dark electronic music, specifically Skullstep and Crossbreed, do check them out. They are fantastic. Very great label. Hard Impact Records is going in C tier. Bit of a quieter year for them. They haven't really released anything in a few months now, but they're still keeping an eye out. Not as interesting as their sub-label Dark Impact Records, but they're still doing some pretty cool hardcore stuff. A lot of it is good. Yeah, that's all fine, I guess. Yeah, they're doing good. They're still keeping at it. Next, next we have Full Metal Records. Oh boy. D tier. Just no, you know what? Fuck it. E tier. I'll get shit for that, but I don't really care, to be honest. This label sucks for a lot of reasons. So like the music they put out is alright. A lot of it is. I put them in C tier last year, I think. The music they put out is alright, but my God, they don't run their shit professionally at all. Like, so this, I got told this by someone. I'm not gonna say who, but they're snaky bastards. One someone, not gonna say who. Someone put out an album with them physically, and apparently they printed the wrong album. Like, they printed the wrong album or something like that. And they obviously made money from those albums. So they had to reprint the album for the artist because they made a mistake. And instead of paying out of their own pocket to fix their mistake, they took the earnings that the artist had made and used that to fix their mistake. That is bullshit. Who does that? You know, like, they didn't pay the artist who made the music, who their money they were owed, and instead they took his money that he was owed and used it to fix a mistake that they made because they somehow printed the wrong CD. How do you even do that? You know? That's fucking stupid. And it's because the label's run by a high schooler. Like, you know what I mean? It's run by a fucking stupid kid who's not even fucking in his 20s. I think he's like fucking 16 or something like that. Which, you know, you're that age and you're running a fucking net label that's making CDs and shit. Cool, that's good. Well done, mate. But maybe you should go back to school first and learn how to not print the wrong CD or something. I don't know. And I'm not a fan of Philly. I think he's an arsehole. I think he's a wee dick, to be honest. I think that he's up his own arse. He's been a complete dick to me for absolutely no reason. Never fucking spoke to the guy. He's an arsehole. And I also found it really funny how, again, he's like an anti. Like, and he's like, his name is Philly Cooley, which is named after an anime by Trigger. Trigger are a studio who made Kill la Kill, who made Gurren Lagann, and who made all these other really degenerate anime that have lolly in it. But, you know, that's just my thing, you know. What do I know, you know? I strongly suggest if you're going to name yourself after an anime, you look into the history of that anime and what it represents and what it means. Because, yeah, Trigger is like... the lolly stays, as Trigger said, when it came to Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Yeah. Oh, and the other funny thing as well is they put out CDR's thing on cassette, and when CDR got outed, you know, the allegations that we all know about came out, rather than make a statement and, you know, retweet the story, they just, like, deleted it off their Bandcamp, and, like, you know, they deleted his music off their Bandcamp and just didn't say anything. Didn't show an ounce of support for the victims of CDR, you know? Didn't make a statement despite you being a label that put out his music. All the Japanese labels that put out his music, they made statements. But you didn't. But you'll call someone out over drawings, though. How interesting. Yeah, you know, the music's shite. Yeah, that too. So yeah, E-tier. Your label sucks. Not my thing. I don't really like it. But, you know, keep doing your thing, I guess. Next we have Church of the Noisy Goat. B-tier. Really good experimental dark ambient noise label. They have like 1 million fucking releases. They put out a new thing like every fucking second day or something. They're more prolific than Indigenic are. They've got like over 1,000 releases, and I'm not joking when I say that. It's been another really, really busy year for them. I get a notification from them on my phone every fucking day saying, oh, they put out a new thing. I'm like, oh boy, another thing I have to look at. So yeah, they're doing good. They're really cool. I love them. I love what they do. The only complaint is, and it's a complaint that applies to my own label as well, is they don't really give a lot of time for releases to breathe. They just put out constant stuff, which is cool. And I like doing that for my label, but when I'm a listener to another label and they do it, I get really overwhelmed, and I can see why people would take issue with my label doing it. So yeah. but they're very good. Check them out if you're into any kind of dark ambient noise, or any kind of experimental electronic stuff. Check them out. They're absolutely solid. A great label. Okay, next we have Omnicore Records. C tier again. Probably the least interesting of the sub labels for Doomcore Records. Just because it's like, it's some of it's interesting. You have like acid core stuff and all that, but then they also have just like really like basic hardcore techno stuff, which is fine. But yeah. But they're good. Like their stuff's good. It's a bit basic sometimes, a bit standard. I mean they're putting out old school hardcore, which is cool. But yeah, it could be better. It's not as interesting as slowcore or doomcore records for sure. I do need to send them something sometime though, because they said they'll take noise, so I do need to send them a noise thing one time maybe. But yeah, they're still doing their thing. They're still pretty good for the most part. Check them out. Next we have, with their nice new label, we have Lost Frog Productions. S tier. If there was a tier above S tier, I would give them it. They are the best label, with the best music, best curation, best everything. They are still the best label. This year has been another amazing year for Lost Frog. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. They put out the most experimental and the most interesting type of music that you can find on the internet. They've been going since 1992. They are still going now. They're fantastic. They got suspended on Twitter this year, for some reason, and they came back right away, and it was sorted. And like, they're never dying. They're never going anywhere. They're just such a good label. Everything they put out, every time they put a release out, I'm like excited for it because I know it's gonna be good. I haven't disliked anything they've put out. They've really started laying into Hyperflip and Daria Core type stuff, but it's their own unique spin on it as well. It's like Japanese Daria Core, which takes samples from like Japanese sources and stuff. Yeah, they're a great label. They're the best fucking label ever. Like, no label comes close to being as good as Lost Frog is. They are the inspiration for my label. They are the inspiration for everything I do as an artist. Like, they're the reason I started this whole thing, because they're what got me into this music scene to begin with. Because I found them on Archive in high school, and that's how I got into this stuff. They've been here longer than anybody else, basically, and they're gonna still be here when everyone else gives up or closes down. Like, if Lost Frog dies, he's probably gonna give it to his son. You know what I mean? That's how fucking serious he takes this. Yeah. Keep it up, Harrow. You're the best curator in the entire scene, and you run the best label, and more people need to start appreciating what you do, because you're the master of this shit, you know. Yeah, keep it up. I'm really excited for 2024. It's gonna be even more awesome. So yeah, Lost Frog's still the best label. No competition, no contest whatsoever. Next we have Dismiss Yourself. Lol. Just nah, man. I don't get this fucking label. I just don't get it. People are like, oh, this is the best label. This should be hot. No, they're garbage. They're just not good, in my opinion. They put out very, very standard, generic music. A lot of it is not good. And even the stuff that is good, it's like when you compare it to like Lost Frog, it's like, yeah, this is like a an okay Lost Frog release. You know what I mean? By comparison, I don't understand. Like, the physicals are like apparently really good quality, but that doesn't mean shit when the music isn't that interesting. I just I really hate their whole thing. I just do not like this whole invite only thing and this whole we're professional and we're corporate, and they're charging a fucking fortune for their physicals as well. It's ridiculous. Like, I just hate this whole. I just hate the whole attitude they have. Basically, they just feel so soulless and so lacking in personality. It's just this corporate bullshit. They're just there to make money and catch on with what's trendy. Basically, that's how it feels to me. I don't feel like there's any soul or any passion or any real love behind this label. It's just, we're making good quality CDs for this genre that is currently popular, and that's it. And I just don't find it interesting at all. I find them, to me, Dismiss Yourself is like the label that a normie who thinks they know what underground music is, references when they try to impress someone like me who actually listens to underground music. You know, they're like, "Oh, I love underground music. Yeah, what's your favorite label?" Dismiss Yourself. Oh, it's like the equivalent of saying that your favorite breakcore artist is Sewer Slut. You know, like, it's like Baby's first underground net label. I just don't find them that impressive, and I genuinely don't understand why they're so like considered so amazing. Every label above here on the list is doing much more interesting and much more unique things in the underground, in my opinion. But whatever. People obviously like them for a reason, but it's not my thing. Next we have Care for You. Care, they're D tier. They're the sub label of Dismiss Yourself. They're a little bit better, a little bit more interesting, but again, there are better labels out there, and I feel like this year hasn't been that good for them or that interesting compared to last year. So yeah, basically everything I said to Dismiss Yourself applies to Care, unfortunately. Next we have Aesthetica Cybernetica, C tier for them. They're a neurofunk label mostly. The only reason they're in C tier this time is they have been very quiet. Not been an awful lot from them, but the stuff they have put out's been good. I just don't feel like they've really been that much of a presence this year, which is fine. But yeah, it is what it is. But I check them out. They're cool. Ultra Gas Records is going in S tier. Fantastic label, based in Japan once again. One of the most experimental labels in the scene. Still doing stuff. They were quiet for a little bit at the start of the year, but they've really started to pick things up again, releasing regular things, putting out good physical merch. Dude who runs it super chill. Yeah. And the music has been phenomenal again. It's all kind of avant-garde experimental metal and like Japanese like folk music and stuff, all mixed with like sound collage and electronic stuff. It's great. They're really putting out some varied, interesting stuff on their label, and they're very, very good. And their physicals are excellent too. So check them out. Great. Next we have Suicide Records, run by Shincode. They're going in A tier now. They've definitely improved a lot. They're continue to do their thing, very depressive breakcore glitch, noise kind of stuff. Yeah, they've been putting out Suicide Selects compilations, which are like compilations where they just get a bunch of artists to make some tracks, and it all comes together in this really dark, depressive aesthetic. I was lucky enough to get featured on Volume 4, which was really cool. Shincode was very nice to me. But my music, and was like, "Oh, Yuki, I like your music," and I'm like, "That's really cool to see that," because I respect a lot of the artists on this label, and I respect Shincode, and I respect the label. So seeing them gas my stuff was really nice. So yeah, Suicide Records are great. If they keep doing what they're doing, they'll get to S tier next year, probably. So yeah, one of the best depressive labels in the scene. Very, very cool. Check them out. Next we have Coffin Dance, and I am sad to report that Coffin Dance is dead. It's a shame. Beachgrave is running it. They were doing some really cool stuff, but I think things just got too much for her in her personal life, and in general, she just couldn't handle the. I think she really underestimated how hard it can be to run a label, especially if you're doing physicals. But you know, I liked what the label did. I thought they were good for the most part. I wasn't a fan of how I was accepted on a compilation and then kicked off due to backlash. But I understand why it happened. Beachgrave doesn't like drama, so I get it. But I was a little bit pissed off about it, to be honest. I was quite hurt by it. I don't think. I think it was wrong, if I'm being honest. But you know, it is what it is. I just put that track on a split with another artist, so it's fine. It's not like the track was like lost, or whatever. But you know, I really worked hard on that track, and I made it for Coffin Dance's compilation, and it got shafted because a bunch of fucking losers complained to the label about me being on it. People who have probably never spoke to me and who don't know anything about me. But, you know, it's fine. But outside of that, I generally don't have any issues with them. They were a cool label. They were good. I'm sad. They had good branding. They had a good catalogue. I'm sad to see them go. It's a bit of a shame. But you know, maybe they'll come back one day. I sure hope so. But we'll wait and see. Next we have Kitty on Fire Records, D tier. They're fine, but I just don't really care for them that much. Their physical merch is good quality, but their catalogue and the sound of it leaves much to be desired for me, personally. Not a fan of much of it. But yeah, a lot of people like them. I'm just kind of on them. But it's whatever. Oh boy. Next we have Third Eye Records. And this is the biggest fall from grace I have ever seen. So they were in A tier, I believe, in the original video. I had so much good things to say about them. Their catalogue was really varied. Mithril was very professional in how they handled themselves online. Very nice to me. You know, they were cool. And I don't know what happened, because now they're in F tier. I don't know what happened to Mithril. I don't know what happened to them. They just... I already told the story about the merger with Liquid Magic, and that rubbed me the wrong way as it is, but I thought, you know, they're wanting to go in a new direction in the label. I understand that. So they archived all their old stuff. That's fine. And I was really excited to see what this new direction was going to be. What's this new bold direction that they feel is so important that they need to archive all their old stuff? What is this new direction they're taking? What's it going to give us? And, you know, they were talking about on Twitter, like, oh, we're making big moves, big, huge moves. You know, we're going to take over the underground, boys. And I was like, wow, those are some really, really bold statements. I'm really excited to see what you do. And they've released a bunch of really generic, like hardcore music and plug music. That's it. As far as I'm aware, they haven't even released anything since like August. They've been very quiet, and you know, they blocked me on social media and stuff. Their management, they're a bunch of cunts. You know, they treated Temmie horribly. They were very, very up themselves. That's probably the best way to put it. With like how they were acting with this new direction. Going on about professionalism and how they know how to, game the Twitter algorithm and all that pish. And they can't even break 100 followers on social media. Their social media presence is dead. I haven't seen Third Eye being talked about by anybody. No one cares about what they're doing. No one listens to what they're doing. I haven't seen anything about them on social media. Or anything. I haven't seen anyone talk about them. Apparently people are buying their CDs and shit, but I'm like, alright, whatever. I checked out their CDs. They look really shoddily made and shit. I mean, there was one CD, it looked like it was made by a fucking primary school student. It looked like they drew it with like crayons and shit. It looked really, really bad. And the music itself is just fucking garbage. It's just like plug shit. And like I have nothing against like plug music. I mean, it can be good and stuff, but trap and stuff, all that stuff. But I'm like, what the fuck, man? This is your new direction. You had this really, really varied and interesting and unique catalogue, and you've replaced it with like a bunch of like rap stoner music, that no one cares about. That's really bad, And like they just go on and on and on about like fucking professionalism and how they're basically just trying to be Dismiss Yourself. They jerk off Dismiss Yourself so hard that they've become like Dismiss Yourself light, without any of the relevancy or marketing power behind them. And Mifro's just decided to become an anti for some reason, despite never having issues with me before. That's really weird. But yeah, it's whatever. This label is garbage now. They are like one of the worst labels in the entire fucking scene. I don't really pay attention to what they're doing. I don't care what they're doing. It's not interesting. It's boring. It sucks. It's terrible. Never seen a label fall so hard from grace. Never seen a label owner fall so fucking hard on their arse. Yeah. Really irrelevant and uninteresting label. And they're probably going to be dead soon. So yeah. Boring. Next we have Molcat. They're on hiatus just now. Not entirely sure why, but I was told they're on hiatus, which is a bit of a shame because they're pretty cool. They're all right. Very average label, but they're on hiatus. That's it. Hopefully we're back soon. Release some cool stuff. Yeah. Kinpatsu, A tier. They've got a really cool release on the horizon, which is awesome, looking awesome. They're still doing their usual thing of like really a hypersexual, like kind of grindy, grindcore, fucking lollycore, drum and bass, kawaii, future bass, all that kind of stuff. Still, again, it's been a quiet year for them. I think the label owner's been a bit demotivated, but they're still doing their thing. They're good. They're doing good. Check them out. They're great. Really good anime focused label. Nikomata Records, A tier, another great Japanese net label run by Izumi. They don't release too often, but whenever they do, it's great. Their compilations are fantastic. Their releases are all really good. I love them. I gotta put something out of them sometime. Geometric Lullaby. They're going in S tier for the Breakcore. C tier. They're pretty average, very middling label. Very good physicals, very good branding, but I don't care for a lot of their music, sadly. But it is what it is. They're still they're not really my thing. I don't have much to say on them, but they're doing okay. Focus on the label. D tier. Haven't really been that interested in what they've been doing recently. Just kind of standard breakcore things. Not really my thing. Kind of fallen off of them, to be honest. But maybe they'll do something more interesting next year. And that is all the original labels from the original video. But we've still got a few more, so let's just get through them. Okay, so this is Net Positive Records, and this is May's label. Unfortunately, they're dead. So why did I include them? Because I feel like they were actually a really good label, and they had a lot to offer, and I think it's really sad that they just kind of shut down. They shut down for a few reasons. One, May got her Twitter account suspended, and that was her main source of like marketing for some reason. She didn't just make a new label, Twitter, but you know, and her new Twitter account is private. She doesn't really have reach. And you know, like May doesn't like interacting with people in the community anymore. It's kind of her own fault. I mean, she says some really silly stuff sometimes, and it makes people mad. And like, we're both similar in that way, but I think May isn't very good at handling it, and can't really deal with it. So, and she has this whole weird outlook on how labels don't matter, even though she still submits music to labels. But whatever. But I'm really sad that this label went away because they were doing some really interesting stuff. They had a really, really cool compilation CD thing that was really nice. It was like a transgender rights CD or whatever. That was really cool. A bunch of trans artists and like trans rights activist artists got together and made a whole compilation of things, and it was really cool. Really awesome release. They had a bunch of Hex D on there. They had a bunch of breakcore, noise, vaporwave. It was good. Net Positive was a good label, and I'm really sad that they're gone. I hope that May brings them back one day because they were really good. But yeah, sometimes good things have to die. But May, I know you watch my videos. If you're watching this, please consider bringing back Net Positive. Yeah, we need more good labels again. So yeah, but I thought they're worth mentioning because they were doing cool stuff. Next we have Illuvion Records. This is actually the sister label of Delta Vega, and they're still a thing. Going in D tier. They have much of the same problems that Delta Vega had, but they're still kicking it. I don't know what their thoughts are on everything. I don't know how involved they were in all the drama, or whatever. I think they're just kind of existing now as their own thing, which is great. I hope that they can get as far away from this controversy as possible. But they haven't commented on it, and they're just seemingly still operating as usual. So, yeah, that's the thing. Keep doing it. But their music isn't really for me. I think their catalogue isn't that interesting. I don't think they have a lot to offer. Their marketing could be better. I never really see them around social media or anything like that, so I don't really know anything about them. I don't really see anybody caring about them. And just the fact they're associated with Delta Vega in any way really leaves a bitter taste in my mouth, to be honest. But at least they're still existing independently and they're still doing their thing. So yeah, that's fine, I guess. Oh boy. Next we have Cardfuck. This label does my fucking nutting for quite a few reasons. First of all, I really, really hate the way that they present themselves on social media. There's like being a degenerate and being weird, and then there's pretending to be that, and to the point where it's annoying. Like, Cardfuck really annoy me because they pride themselves on being this degenerate weirdo label, and then they are terrified of anyone who's even remotely degenerate and weird. They're like, oh, we're such a weird label putting out music for degenerates by degenerates. And then they get terrified over Cunny. You know what I mean? Which I think is really ironic because they have released music by my friends who are like well-known cunny posters, you know? And I'm like, what's the issue here? You know? They have a bunch of artists on their label who are very young, who are very, very uneducated about the world, and who have very, very fucking weird views, you know? I've had a lot of issues with the artists on this label. And it's like, do you not know what label you're working with? Like, and the original Cordfuck was degenerate and was fucking weird and was bizarre, and the current owner brought it back, and since it came back, it just hasn't been as interesting as it used to be. They've got, I mean, they're doing physicals. They've got their own website. They don't even have a Bandcamp. It's all their own website, you know, which is cool. They're doing physical CDs. Apparently, the physicals are good. I wouldn't know. I've never bought them, but you know, that's fine. But God, man, the music is just not that interesting. The only really good album on there was Painful Acidic's split with Lulu, and all of Deepest Pussy stuff. And Deepest Pussy stuff got taken off because she left the internet and asked every label she ever worked with to take her stuff off. But just the way they conduct themselves on social media is fucking bullshit. It's just so annoying. It's really annoying. It's not funny. It's just annoying. And it's so try-hard. Like, you're trying so hard to be weird and degenerate and strange, and you're just not any of those things. You're, like, you know what I mean? You're just like a normal person. You're not weird, you're not degenerate, you're not funny. And I used to be on our Discord server, and I would like go to sleep and I'd wake up to like 50 notifications of people tagging me, saying repeating unfunny shit. You know, like fucking Zoomer humor. It's like fucking Family Guy humor, you know? I think I was kicked from that Discord server because apparently people are mad at my existence and don't like that I'm into cunny, and it's like, do you know who's in your server? I strongly suggest going through your members list and seeing who's in it, because and maybe even having a look at people who's released music with you, because yeah, go do that. Strongly recommended. It's just another case where I get singled out for something that other people do, you know? It's really annoying, and I'm tired of the hypocrisy of people doing that. And you could be like, oh, well, that's your personal issues affecting your ranking. Yeah, it is. But also, the music isn't interesting. The marketing is annoying as fuck. To the point where the marketing actually got them suspended, and they had to remake their account. Because, like, they were posting jokes about wanting to kill people and shit, and then some fucking guy reported them or something, and they lost all their shit. You know? They literally lost their branding for a while because they don't act professional enough. They act really annoying and people get annoyed by it. So yeah, Cordfuck is not a good label. Their mascot pales in comparison to Indigenic Chan, and yeah, I think they're one of the most uninteresting, boring and unfunny labels ever. And apparently they really took that to heart, because me calling them unfunny ones is now a quote in their bio. So I live rent-free in Cordfuck's head, which is really funny. So yeah, whatever. I don't care. Fuck them. Next we have fucking... Oh, what's this label called again? Hold on. Oh yeah, so this is Fake Numberland. They're all right. They have a really cool aesthetic. They put out some interesting music. A lot of it's not to my taste, but you know, at least they're doing stuff no one else is doing. But yeah, they're like quite middle of the road. They're all right. But I'll be keeping an eye on them. I'm still quite new to what they do. But yeah, check them out. They're pretty cool. Next we have Pause and Reflect. B tier, very cool vaporwave label. Not very familiar with them as of the time of this recording, but I did check out a few of their stuff at the request of some followers of mine, and yeah, they're pretty cool. They're one of the better vaporwave labels right now. They're doing really, really cool stuff. Yeah, check them out. And they're good. Definitely one of the better vaporwave labels right now. We have Paradise Records next, which is on hiatus, it seems. I'm not going to say that they're dead, because the guy who runs it, Sierra Mist, has been going through a lot of shit. Like, he's been battling drug addiction and stuff. He's been in the rehab. He's had a lot of personal shit going on in his life, which I'm assuming is why the label's been a bit quiet for the last year. They're a great label though. They've got a really good back catalogue, like dreamy, vaporwave type stuff, break kind of music, really atmospheric, glitch. They're a great label. They're very, very good, and I hope they come back, because I miss them. I miss what they did. They were one of my favourite labels before I started doing this whole thing, and I hope they come back. But right now it seems like they're on a bit of a hiatus, which is fine. After that, we have Favicon Records, who are also on hiatus from the looks of it. I'm surprised I didn't mention them in the last video, but yeah, Favicon is run by that fucking guy, his name I can't remember. Shoebill, yeah, that's his label, and they're great, but they've just been really quiet again. Really good speedcore, extra tone, mashcore, breakcore label, and they've just kind of stopped releasing things. I don't follow Shoebill on social media anymore, so I have absolutely no idea what's going on with him or what's going on with that, but I hope they come back, because they had some cool stuff and they were quite a good label. Next, this is one I'm really excited to talk about. This is Dreamcore Records. S tier. Hands down, one of the best labels in the scene right now. Very new label. I've been working with them like crazy. It's run by one of my closest friends right now, Roboticoder. Apparently I gave him the motivation to start his own label, and that's what he's done. This label is fantastic. Every release is great. They did physicals going right out the gate. They put my stuff on CD, which is really cool. My stuff was put on CD, which for the first time ever, a label accepted my stuff on CD. That's nice. They do vinyls. They have their own website. The music is fantastic. Really varied catalogue. Roboticoder pays his artists. I've been paid a fuck ton of money for everything I've done with him. He's paid me. I've made like 100 quid from this label. Like, I've actually made a profit from my music because of this label. He's such a lovely. I say he. They're like they, whatever. I don't really care about pronouns, but yeah, I'll just say they for the sake of it. They are such a lovely person. One of the only fucking people who's ever actually stood up for me on social media. They've defended me. That's really nice. And just they're just lovely. They're just a lovely person, and the label is great, and they run so professionally, and they just get shit done, and it's great. And they put out your stuff on CD without any complaints, and they sell it, and they've got a really, really good business model, and they just really know what they're doing, and they are taking over this scene. They are one of probably the best label next to Nightprowler Recordings in the Western scene. They're doing an absolutely amazing job, and I am very, very happy to be working with them. And I'm going to be regularly releasing with them all the time now, because their CDs are amazing quality. Every customer has received their CD, they've been happy with it. I've been paid. The label's made a bit of money too, I think. Yeah, absolutely phenomenal label. One of the best labels in the entire scene. Please, if you're going to check out any label on this list that you haven't heard before, check out Dreamcore. They're absolutely phenomenal. Fantastic label. Cannot recommend them enough. Okay. Next we have Imploding Sounds. B tier. Very, very good noise label. Great label. I didn't mention them in the last video for some reason, but they're great. They're very good. I like them a lot. Check them out. If you like noise music, you'll like Imploding Sounds and what they have to offer. Come Walls. I was told to include this, but as of recording, they're now dead. This was Stranded, or as they go by now, Tomboy Facefucks label. They didn't last very long, which is a shame. I was going to release with them at one point, but they've just shut down. I think Stranded just can't be arsed, which is fine. But you know, it was a funny, degenerate label. They were doing cool shit, but I think they just kind of gave up. But that's fair enough. We have File Under. I was recommended this one. They're C tier. They're pretty cool. They have their own website, which is cool. It's very glitchy looking. I don't know if that's on purpose, but their music's fine. It's like okay. It's not really my thing, but they're doing cool things. Check them out. I'll link them in the description. Cityman Productions, B tier. Absolutely solid label. I'd never heard of them, but I found one of their cassettes on recommended to me on Bandcamp, and they're actually really good. I bought a cassette from them. It's one of my favourite cassettes. Very, very good quality. The music they do is like everything from like drum and bass to like electronic ambient and stuff. They're fantastic. They're a very good label. Their products are, I can give a positive review in that their products are very good quality. The tape they sent me was amazing. One of the best looking tapes I've ever had. All custom made and stuff too. The music's fantastic. Not all of it's my thing, but I enjoy the stuff I enjoy. So yeah, they're very good, very professional net label, doing an excellent job. Then we have Basement Emission Recordings, A tier, very good net label. Basement Corner Emissions, that's what they're called. Very good label, very good noise label. The guy who runs it is super chill. He's a master of noise. He's an absolute master of like just finding good noise. I owe him a split actually. I'm gonna need to do a split with him soon, next year probably. But yeah, this label's fantastic. One of the best, if not the best, noise label besides Euro Society right now. Guy's super lovely, super chill. Always messaging me, always hitting me up, always talking to me about stuff. I love the guy and love the label. We have Red Bear next. They're D tier. They're very small, very new. Not a lot of interesting things going on. The branding's a bit messy, but they have potential. So you know, they could be good. So keep an eye out. But at the moment, it's just kind of another Vapor label, another experimental electronic label. Yeah. But yeah, you know, keep an eye on them. Then we have Sound for the Soul, B tier. Very, very good dark ambient label. I really like what they've done. Their compilations are excellent. I just wish if they rejected me that they would tell me, because I've submitted to every single one of their compilations, and they've never once reached out and said you weren't accepted. Sorry, they've just kind of ignored me, which is fine. But you know, I think it's a bit of a shame that I'll make like noise stuff and they just don't even give it the time of day whenever I submit it. But whatever. You know, they're a good label. They do some cool stuff. Mostly dark ambient and noise. But yeah, check them out. They're cool. Their compilations in particular are very good, and they're worth your time. Then we have Noise Slut CDs. They're going in D tier. They're very new. I don't actually know who runs this. I think it's Flesh Eater Forest that runs this label. They're already doing physicals right out the gate, which is really cool. So you know, I think this label has a lot of potential, but it's not quite there yet because it's very new, and it has, you know, we still have ways to go. Like there's only like a couple of releases on the page right now, but I'm gonna submit to them at some point, I think, and I really hope that they keep doing what they're doing because they have a lot of potential to be a very good noise label, especially if they're doing CDs right out of the gate. And I really like their aesthetic, and I really like their naming convention and all that stuff. Noise Slut CDs, that's fucking cool, you know. And yeah, that's all the labels. So yeah, I appreciate that I rambled a lot. A lot of my opinions have changed. I had to pause a few times while recording as well, so the voice over might be a bit messy here and there. But I'm going to try to edit it all together and put it all together in a way that makes sense. But yeah, that's the updated underground music labels tier list. I hope you all enjoyed listening to me ramble. I hope nobody gets mad at me for my opinions and my fighting words, but I'm sure they will, because it's this community and they love the fight. And yeah, the ones that are high up, good job. I hope that you're happy that my very professional opinion had nice things to say about you and what you do. And I hope that you all make your own tier lists. You know, if you want to do your own one, I'll leave a link in the description. You can put Indigenic on F if you want, and I'll laugh at you. But no, yeah, go do the thing if you want, and enjoy the video. And I'll see you guys in the next one, whenever that's going to be. Have a wonderful day. I have been Yuki Noisewall, and I will see you guys in the next video, when I will no doubt do another tier list or some other low effort content. So yeah, bye, have fun, have a wonderful day, stay cool everyone, and check out Indigenic Noise. Bye.